Hi Stampers, this is super awesome stamper Shirley Merker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, USA. Thanks for joining me today on my second project for the Suite of the Month for January 2021. This is a program where I share 2 YouTube videos to create the make and takes that I'll mail to you. So this project features our mini paper pumpkin boxes that I've created a belly band around and tied some of our baker's twine, and then created a coordinating gift note as well. So let's get started making this project. I used just one stamp from the Snailed It stamp set this time, and then I also used the 3 mushroom dies. Now here's the rest of the die set. So there are 13 dies in total. These 3 cutout shapes on the Designer Series paper, of course a frame, a little letter that goes inside the mini envelope is really cute too, and those are called the snail dies. So I'm going to get these out of the way. And we are going to work on our box first. Now the pattern paper pack that's included in this suite's got large, bold graphic designs. So we're working with the side or the sheet that's got the hearts on one side and the large mushrooms on the other. And I wanted to point out that the pattern is not symmetrical, but what I was going for was to have one of these, the largest mushroom in the center of my box. So I do believe I cut off 5 inches from one side, and actually this one's over here. 5 inches from the left side and 5 inches from the right side. So for you metric workers, that measurement is 13 inches by the 30.5 inches. Okay, so that was my, that's how I figured out how I wanted the pattern, because I wanted that large mushroom. All right, so I'm going to open this up because I'm just going to reuse my twine here. Open it up. So my little mushroom tie-ons, I tied on with just one piece of the white baker's twine. And then I did a bow. So this is how somebody would open it up when they got their little gift pack from you. So they don't have to destroy anything. And then this is a belly band that slips off. And then your fun little treat would be inside. Now our boxes are lined with a coating that you can treat people some baked goods in there, and it's food safe. This is how the box comes flat from Stampin' Up. So one side is matte and one side's that food safe. So all you need to do is form up all the edges. Everything's already scored. And if you've gotten paper pumpkin box, this is just the mini version. These are great to have on hand because they store flat. And the way I'm showing you to decorate the box today is an easy, simple way to use your awesome Designer Series paper. So you just force the tabs to the center and flip the side over the tabs and tuck it in the little notches. Same thing on this side. Flip it over the tabs. And of course, it's harder to do on camera. There we go. Tuck your little treat inside. And why don't I reach across my workstation? We'll tuck a package of our resin hearts, which is part of this Snail Mail Suite. So if you purchased a suite, you would have gotten one of those resin heart packages in your order. Okay, so then I just take these little tabs off. They're just the manufacturer's tabs, if they didn't already fall out in shipping. Oh, there's the rest of them. Okay, let me get a few things out of the way here. All right, now next, grab your pattern paper pack. Again, I looked for that large mushroom to be in the center of my box. So it was measured 12 inches by 5 inches or 13 by 30.5 centimeters. So I'm just positioning that mushroom over the center of the box. I'm not really watching where the rest of the pattern goes. And I didn't do any pre-scoring. I want this to be a loose belly band so we can slip it off of the box easily and not destroy the belly band. So all I'm doing is using my fingers and pressing along all the corners. Put this down so I can press the last two. This one. And then I'll just make sure I line up the edge of the pattern paper on either side. And pull that down right there. All right, so now on my sample card, I've got these strips of red over there. And what I did was I cut off a length because we don't need all this wrapped around. All right, so we're gonna pull on our cutting tool and cut off a length. Okay, so I've got my personal trimmer here. So let me just wrap this around and show you what I'm doing here. So here is the seam, and all this extra is not needed. So I know I can cut off 1.5 inches or about 3.2 centimeters from this side. So 1.5. And then I'm just going to cut this in half, slide it over. You can just use your marks on your paper trimmer to cut it in half, but this would be a 3/4 of an inch or 1.6 centimeters. So I'm just lining up the marks there and there, and I know that's half. And then we get these two strips that will be attached to the side of the box. All right, so now let's pull this back in. Find my center. Yep. Okay, make sure it's on the top and the front. All right. And then before I glue down, I am going to make sure I can slide this off. If I've made it loose enough, I should be able to slide it off. Yep. All right, so I want to make sure that this is sealed well because it might be slipped off and on a couple of times. So let's just run a piece of tear and tape on that and place it around the box again. And then line up the edges on each side right here is what I'm looking at. And just run your finger along that. There. So we've got a belly band that can be easily pulled off of your box. Oh, and I got a mushroom on either side. So this is actually the top side. Okay. Top side and the front side. Did I get it backwards? No, here's the opening right there. Okay. All right, next is to add the strips we just cut off to decorate the sides. And you can use whatever adhesive you want. I'll just grab my Stampin' Seal Plus. And I could have used my Stampin' Seal Plus to make the seam, but tear and tape will work just as well. Tear and tape would work to attach this little strip too. Okay, and then so up. So I got the hearts up. This is the side that's going to open. And then to cover that seam up, we've got the hearts up again. There we go. All right, next is adding some little of our resin hearts. So they're small, they're hard to see, but I've got a red little resin heart on all 4 corners. So if you're doing a make and take along with me, if I sent you the supplies, go ahead and find your resin hearts. If you are one of the global clients, watch my video, and you purchased your suite, you'll have a whole sheet of hearts that you can use to decorate your projects with. And the resin hearts are self-adhesive, so no additional gluing is required. There we go. Now, I looked at this and went, oh, that's pretty blah. And normally when you're doing a nice package, you put some ribbon around it. And I thought, we're not just going to do one ribbon, we're going to do two. We're going to do one strip of the Whisper White and one strip of the Blushing Bride. So this is part of the suite as well. You get both of the colors in the package. And I cut off 3.5 feet, which is about 100 centimeters. And the way I'm going to tie the bow is, or tie the box shut, find the ends of your ribbon, line them up, and find the center of your twine. Okay, and now you put the center over the front and drag it across the horizontal way. Flip your box around, take it to the back side, and cross your twine over each other. Flip it around, bring it back up, and to make sure that the twine does not move, you're going to take one end and put it over the horizontal line, and take the other end and put it over the horizontal line. So now when you tie a ribbon, it will kind of stay in place because you're creating some tension there. I might just put that off to the side a little bit. All right, and now I just did a simple bow, bunny ears. All right, and then you're gonna cut that off to make your tails nice. I won't cut mine off right now because I need to open this back up and stuff it with something before I gift it away. And then when I retie it, the bows are not gonna match, or the ends are not going to be the same length, and I'll wind up with really short tails, and we don't want that. All right, so our next step is to cut off a piece of your baker's twine. So it was just a length that I cut off. It's actually about 14 centimeters, which is about 4 inches, 3.5, 4 inches. And all I did was thread it underneath my bow. And then thread it through one of the real red mushroom holes. Thread it through one of the, I used Pool Party because that's what I had scrap of. It actually color coordinates with some of the lighter blues, lighter hues of the Bermuda Bay. And then a piece of scrap Daffodil Delight to cut that mushroom. And then I did a mini bow. So let's see if I can do a mini bow again. Tie it pretty close to the mushrooms. This is just a fun little tie-on ornament. And flip it around. And pull it through. So I recommend that you cut off enough of your Whisper White that you got enough wiggle room to tie a nice little mini bow. And again, I won't cut off my tails because I'm going to open this up to stuff something back in. Or to get those red hearts again out, right? All right, so there's our mini paper pumpkin box. Now let's do our gift note. So the gift note is created from a piece of Soft Saffron cardstock. It measures 3 inches by 6 inches, or 7.8 by 15.2 centimeters, and I've scored it in half at the 3-inch mark, or just fold it in half and use your bone folder, whichever way works for you. And then pull in your Real Red ink pad. Mount your fun little mushroom on your card, on your acrylic block, ink it up. And I'm flipping that over because I'll show you there's a little bit more of an overhang on this side, and I consider that the front side. All right, and then I just stamped it towards the bottom. Okay, and that is the only stamping that I did on this project. So let's get that out of the way. Then I've got some strips. So this pattern, I'm going to show you. It's a full street of these mushrooms in a horizontal row. So all I did was cut off one of the rows. So no exact measurement. I just eyeballed and kind of cut in between the meadow space. Okay, and then I cut that in half. So this measures about, well, it's 3 inches this way. So it's 7.8 inches. You know, you're just going to cut it so it fits your card front. And then it's just the that row, which is about 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so let's attach that down. So we're going for a quick and easy gift packaging option. All right, and I see that I cut it off a little long, so I'm just going to flip it over and custom cut off that edge. There we go. All right, next up, I'm going to bring up my gift note so you can see what else I did. I die cut another set of mushrooms, and I actually added 2 of the mini hearts, and then I tied a little bow on top. Because why not? We're going to gift this away inside the box. Might as well make it 3D-ish. So let me give you some tips on our attaching the mushrooms. So I did not want to use some dimensionals because I would have had to severely cut them off. But you can pop this up in a different way. Excuse me. Let's see. I need to... There we go. So you can see what I'm doing. So take your glue dots and just roll them on each other to make it like a thin piece. And then attach it on your mushroom. And I think I can get one more at the top there. If you make it really thin. So that adds a little bit of dimension without having to use one of our mini dimensionals. So just over the center of that one. And then for these smaller mushrooms, I rolled it, but I just added one on the stem because we're going to tuck it under the red mushroom. One there. Oops. Roll it. And place it. All right, pull back in the heart resins. Let's see, I had them going this way. I had the point of the heart pointing to the center of the card and the rounded parts pointing out, kind of like a V. All right, last would be our baker's twine. And I normally cut things or tie things off of the spool. So my guess is this was about an inch, or not an inch, a foot of baker's twine. If you've tied enough bows, you know how much you need to leave for tails. All right, and which is about 30 centimeters. There we go. So this one's got a bigger bow than the sample. Not sure which one I like. Let's just leave the larger bow. And our paper snips work really well for cutting ribbon because they're super sharp. There there we go. So sample card, the one I just made, and then the gift box that coordinates with the gift note. Place an order that is greater than $50, excluding shipping and tax, from January 5th to February 28th. You can celebrate with Stampin' Up. So they reward every $50 to $100 orders with these free exclusive products. So go to my blog at superawesomestamper.com and download this celebration brochure to see all of the fabulous products you could earn when you place an order. All right, thanks for stamping with me, and go to my blog at superawesomestamper.com for more details on my Sweet of the Month program, and we'll stamp with you soon. Bye.